Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but the easiest thing in the world to be should be Patrick Mahomes Sr. You played in the Major League Baseball for years and years and years. You were a good enough player. You had a lot of respect. You have a lot of guys that you played against that know you, love you, organizations wanted you. Then you have a son, and he becomes the arguably greatest football player of his generation at quarterback. He got everything. What has he got? He got fame. He got personality. He got looks. He got sensibility. He's empathetic. He's just a really seemingly good guy. He married crazy, but hey, a lot of people marry crazy. A lot of white women out there that are crazy, trying to sniff around athletes. He caught himself an interesting one. But you're the dad. You're the dad. This should be easy. This should be no-brainer. You act like a patriarch. You act like Del Curry, even though Del Curry had to have affairs and do, honest to God, maybe it's just, I don't know. But you just act above it. You're the mentor. You're not like Usher, like John Morant's dad, the idiot trying to be in the crew, yo. The idiot trying to be one of the thugs, yo. And if that's racist to you, tough, because I saw guys, Ryan Clark on ESPN, use thugs, so we can use thugs, so screw you. Anyway, it's easy, Pat Mahomes Sr. Go be a guy. Don't be Otis the Town Drunk. And if any of you've seen the Andy Griffith Show, you know who Otis the Town Drunk is. Otis the Town Drunk is the guy that walks around town drunk and everybody likes him because he's Otis the Town Drunk. Well, in Mahomes' case, he's Pat Sr., the Town Drunk. He got his third DUI. Not one, not two. Third DUI. Now look, I'm guessing, I don't know anybody's finances, but I'm guessing, just guessing, that this dumbass here has enough money to take an Uber. Maybe an Uber Black. I'm guessing, just guessing, that this dumbass here has some real problems. Like, look at him. He got a whole lot of crazy looking in him. Good for him, man. Hey, I ain't mad at anybody with a whole lot of crazy in him. But crazy, arrogant, and stupid is no way to go through life. I used to say it about basketball players. Dumb and arrogant is a killer. Smart and arrogant, you're at least smart enough to know that you're arrogant when it's hurting you or when it's helping you. But dumb, arrogant, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, and this is fairly serious. Under Texas law, listen to this, a conviction would result in 2 to 10 year prison stretch. Now, is he going to go to prison? I don't know. I don't know, man. Hey, look, for rich dudes, Harvey Weinstein going to jail was a shock to the system. I remember when Harvey Weinstein was going through that, I would read, all these different articles, and, he's rich, he'll get off, he won't go to jail, and he went. There's an old saying, I guess you can add Harvey Weinstein to it, but if they'll fire Bob Knight in Indiana, if they'll cut Peyton Manning with the Colts, and now if they'll put Harvey Weinstein in jail, they'll put your ass in jail, Patrick Mahomes Sr., and it's sad. And this is why I always say, this is one of the reasons, why I always say about the Super Bowl and other major events, don't bet them until the day before because you never know. There was a player, his name was Robinson back in the day. He was the Walter Payton Man of the Year. He was at the Super Bowl. Night before the Super Bowl, he gets busted. Busted for soliciting a hooker. That is Walter Payton's style, but hey, good for him. He's out. Cornerback. Falcons, Dirty Birds get beat. Night before the Super Bowl, Brett Robbins. He's all bipolar. He's all whacked out. Important starting center, Oakland Raiders. Goes AWOL night before, leaves, gone. I can't remember whether the Oakland Raiders won. I'm betting they didn't. So now, Patrick Mahomes got a deal with his father. They don't seem estranged. They don't seem close. They just seem. And that's the way fathers and famous sons should be. They should just seem. The dad should just be there. But the dad, if you notice, in recent weeks has been a little more visible. And our friend Jason Allen Hammer nailed it the other day. I wish I would have, if we could find it, I wish I would have found it. I wish I would have told you guys to find what Hammer had to say about Mahomes' dad. I think he called him a dirtbag. I think he called him all kind of stuff. I totally forgot. Hammer and I were texting. My next text should have been, hey, look, boom. Boom. Play Hammer. But anyway, he called it with this dirtbag. So this is number 3. He's lucky, obviously, that he didn't put people's lives in danger. But why do this to your son? Hey, look, you're out, you're drinking. I get it. I get it. You're an ex-athlete. You're a big guy. You're out. Hey, when I got divorced, it was on. I mean, on. Stories legendary about me out in and around Indy. That's right. That's right. This was a second chance. I had a blast. I'm not going to lie. Lee was screwing around. She had a boyfriend. I was trying to get that boyfriend away from her, but she was in Syracuse. And I'm like, hey, so I get it. I get it. You get around 48, 50, I think is what I was, and I'm out having a ball. I mean a ball. Hey, Dan, you want to go? Yeah, I'll go. Hey, Dan, we're going. I'm in. But I always rode my bike. I did. Weird. And I always rode it, and I stayed close to my house. True story. Unless I was going away for I was going to Bloomington, and I never drove. Because my kids don't need me in a mugshot. They don't. They don't need that worry. My kids don't need it. They don't need the humiliation. Neither do yours. So you ride a bike. Did you know you can get a DUI on a bike? I didn't. I do now. And if they gave it to me, I would say, look, what can I tell you? But I'm going downtown. I'm riding my bicycle. I'm going to have a few beers. I'm going to laugh my you-know-what off, probably play some cards, and I'm riding my bike back. Man, the kids don't need the humiliation. Well, guess what? Right before the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes got to deal with this because Patrick Mahomes has a problem that apparently he won't get help for, and he continues to make the same mistakes. Shame on you, Patrick Mahomes. At some point, it ain't always about you. At some point, mommies and daddies, it's about making damn sure you protect your kids. Period. Tony Romo says people like me. No, they like me. I've said this always. As a broadcaster, one of the things that you can never really get caught up in is going to the grocery store and people saying how much they enjoy your show. I mean, they see you there. They want to talk to you. What are they going to say? Seriously, what are they going to say? I don't know. What are they going to say? Hey, Dan, I hate your show. I've had a couple people do that, and then they scurry away like little rats. I've had people look at me, side-eye, under-eye, cross-eye me. I get it. Everybody gets that. Not everybody's supposed to like you. It's the world we live in. If everybody liked you, this would be the land of the Oompa Loompas. And this ain't the land of Oompa Loompas, but you can't listen to people that come up and talk to you about it. Tony Romo has been awful. Now, has he been as awful as Twitter has said? No. Tony Romo got on the wrong side of Twitter, which isn't a bad place to be. But more importantly, it became not only a narrative on Twitter, but it became a narrative on CBS. And CBS, by all accounts, had to go tell Romo, look, you're not preparing, you sound unorganized, you're not having chemistry, straighten up. See, here's the deal. I don't care whether it's broadcasting. I don't care whether it's sports. When guys are in their contract year, they do better. We've seen it in baseball forever. I mean, forever. Tony Romo was in a contract year. Tony Romo was calling out plays. Tony Romo got the bag. Tony Romo, after he got the bag, hasn't done squat. He's lived off reputation. And a little smile and a little beard from Miami Vice circa 1983, and we all go, oh, gee, he's so cute. His analysis has been horseshit. His preparation, and this is stuff that I know. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not guessing here. I did this for 10 years and was the best ESPN, according to Norby and the boys at ESPN, were the best they ever had doing games. So this is something I know. I can tell when a announcer is prepared or when an announcer is winging it. I can tell when somebody has really studied. And Romo used to really study. Romo used to know. Now Romo just grunts, groans, makes fun, acts above it, and then walks away laughing and goes to dinner and buys a big bottle of red wine for him and his wife. But Romo doesn't believe that. And I don't blame him. Here's what Romo had to say. It's a normal arc of someone's career. Honestly, I think a lot of people are rooting against Patrick Mahomes because he's been there. They want to see new people. It's just part of an arc where you do something at a very high level. I think that's normal. Same thing happens in football. You become dominant at things, and then all of a sudden people are like, okay. Then at the end, Tiger Woods come back, everybody roots for you. It's just a normal arc. It's not abnormal. It's absolutely what's supposed to happen. Well, that may be true. I'm not saying you're wrong. Absolutely. People get tired of those on top. I deal with it every day on a very small level here at Indy. I got haters left and right. Hell, we made some hater named Rafael Davis cry yesterday. He used to play at Purdue. Now he's a Big Ten Network reporter. We just simply said, look, how about guys shut up and let John Beilein talk on the set? Made him cry. Haters came out. That's all right. I'm the king. People stand on my shoulders and act tall. It's the same thing with Romo, except it's not. Romo has become bad at his job. And whatever he wants to do and however he wants to spin it, there is no spinning being ill-prepared. There is no spinning being above your job. There is no spinning for mailing it in once you get the bag. You've seen it. A lot of you say it all the time. Hey, Bellinger for the Cubs, he's in a contract year. Man, he's going to have a big year. What does he do? He has a big year. It's no different in broadcasting. Romo, contract year. Oh, man, I'm going to be really good. I mean, look, this stuff for a guy that played quarterback or a guy like me that coached and played ain't hard at all. Being an analyst ain't hard at all if you have any common sense. Now, it's hard for some guys because they're idiots. But if you're not an idiot, if you're a normal human being, if you went to college, if you have a brain, if you have a vocabulary, if you can think on your feet and you can articulate your words well, that was pretty fast right there. Then this stuff is easy. But you can always tell, I can anyway, when somebody hasn't studied, when somebody hasn't put the time in, when somebody's only just put a cursory effort in, and when somebody, for whatever the reason, lost that proverbial edge. And that's what Romo has. Is he right about the arc? Sure. We love to tear our sports stars down. How fast was the media to pump up this young African-American golfer named Tiger Woods? Every white dude in the media fell all over themselves. Every African-American in the media made him out to be the next MLK Mandela, just like his father had said he would. I get it. And then what happened? Then Perkins waitresses came. Then the old 9-iron to the back of the car. Then the old driving intoxicated under the influence of pain pills. And guess what happened then? How quick that same media lost their ever-loving mind to not only criticize, but to judge, examine, and act as psychiatrists. It is the normal arc, no question. You take some time off, you come back, and now Tiger Woods is seen as a godfather, a grandfather to players. Same thing with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's a rapist. You can say whatever you want. Dude's a rapist. I know his agent. I know the details of what happened in college. He's a rapist, period. He was going to jail. He paid the woman off. Lucky for him, the woman accepted it. And then he decided, begrudgingly, but he decided, for the most part, to change his life around. And then what happened? So the media that was not fawning over Kobe early, but became fawning, then crucified him. And then they realized, wait a second here, we better get back on the Kobe train because Kobe ain't going nowhere. Now, somehow, some way, Mamba mentality isn't about raping somebody in a resort in Colorado. Mamba mentality is about hard work. What? What? And girl dad, of all things, is now associated with a rapist, Kobe Bryant. That simple. Say whatever you'd like. Everybody's afraid to say it. There will be a day, maybe, when the woman that got raped speaks out. But, again, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the arc of a career. The arc of the career was everybody loved him. He got on top. Rape charges. He got on bottom. Time away. Buy my wife a massive ring to make her stay. Buy her everything she wanted. Buy off her affection. Become an icon. It's amazing, really. Mamba mentality is about hard work, not rape. The world is nuts, and Romo ain't wrong. There are arcs in careers. It is amazing. Rick Pitino has every reason to go off. He does. Every reason to go off on the NCAA. 2013, Pitino feels like he was slighted. His team won a national championship. Guess what? It got taken away. Louisville people are still pissed. Make no mistake, Pitino still pissed. Hostile. Really hostile. I mean crazy hostile. Like not even a little bit. He is hostile. Well, guess what? He, Pitino, came out with this now about something different. The enforcement staff. Same, because he's pissed at the enforcement staff, but he said this about NIL. Enforcement staff needs to go away. We just need to stop all the hypocrisy of NIL. We need to stop it because they can't stop it. Whether I'm for it or against it does not matter. These are professional athletes, Rick Pitino said, getting professionally paid, Rick Pitino said. It's not going away. Boy, is he right about that. You can't try to get loopholes because they take you to court. That's why I say, and I'm not knocking the enforcement staff, they're going to get taken to court every time they try to make a rule. It's a tough time in college basketball right now, and for us, you can't really build programs and a culture because everyone leaves. Let's add to that. Everyone leaves. Why? Everyone leaves because of money. Guys aren't leaving. Cam Spencer isn't leaving Rutgers until he realized that, wait a second, two things are in play here. I can go to UConn and not have to sit out, and I can get a hell of a lot more money playing basketball at UConn. Now, UConn, according to everybody except maybe me, is the best team in the country. They may be, but Purdue's right there, particularly after the win yesterday. But the fact of the matter is, you go where the money is. Have coaches done that for years? Sure, but not really. Coaches have gone, boom, boom, boom. I can't win a national championship at Bowling Green, so I want to go to West Virginia. I can't really win at West Virginia. There's another level. I want to get to Indiana. John Beilein went from Canisius to West Virginia to Michigan, got to the national championship game. That's the way it works. It is money. There is money involved. You do make more at Michigan, don't get me wrong, but it's not really, truly about the money. It's partially. I didn't go to West Virginia for the money. I went because, well, I could get in a Big East. I came back and it became about the money because I left $500,000 a year at West Virginia and went back for $100,000 at Bowling Green. That was really financially stupid. Morally perfect, financially stupid. But anyway, Pitino's not wrong. Here's the deal. In the NCAA right now, everybody knows. They know that guys are going to school because of financial incentive. Is that the way it was set up? No. It was set up so that Trace Jackson Davis, after a great freshman year, next year, go get yourself some car dealerships money. Go get yourself some ad money. Name, image, likeness based on performance. Now, it's name, image, likeness, yeah, but it's, look, here's the bag, Here's how much we're paying. Let me know if you want to come. Well, I got an agent. I'm a player. I got an agent. I go back to the school and say, look, I got your bag. I like your bag. It's great. But this school over here offered me 20 grand more. You come back with 30 grand more, I'm in. I'm yours. You got a choice. That's the way it's working right now. I don't like it. I don't dislike it. I personally don't care about it other than to talk about, here's my solution to it. Just say, screw it. Everybody gets a contract. You're getting a contract. You leave, you pay back money. Same contract, everybody. Make them employees. I don't care. Make them contracted employees. Here's the deal. My contract, people always equate it to the real world. My contract said this. When I left Urban One on December, whatever, 7th, 8th, whatever it was, I had a year non-compete. The year was supposed to start in March because Urban One, unknowing to them, and known to me, had to pay me for 90 more days or 60 more days. I guess it was 60. So we compromised and went to a 1-year non-compete. I had to sit out. Okay. January 1st, 2024, I'm back. Same as a college kid. Same as what it used to be. It used to be a college kid had to sit out a year. And then they would say, well, that's not a real world. Well, it is a real world. It is to me. Was to me. It is to people in broadcasting. The non-compete will get you. But Pitino's not wrong. And what Pitino is saying is there's nothing these folks can do about it. Here's what you do, contracts. You come to our school, here's a contract. However, make it a standard contract, make it whatever you want. Put people on contract. Take out whatever you need to take out. Take out taxes, take out FICA, take out whatever. Pay them Social Security, pay them unemployment, pay them whatever. If players and the player advocates want it to be the real world, then make it the real world. Simple. But again, the NCAA, the easiest thing in the world to do is blame the NCAA. And I'm glad at least Pitino said their hands are tied. Yeah, because when you go to court, guess what? Done. They never win. Ever. It's like St. Bridget's 6th grade in Hobart, Indiana. They never win. They never get the W. So anyway, good for Pitino. And I like that Pitino's coming back hot. I like that he's running hot. I do. A running hot Pitino is good for sport. A running hot Pitino is good for basketball. More Pitino. That St. John's UConn game in the Garden was electric. It was. Man, it was like guys were just screaming in the stands for 2 hours. It was electric. My boy, Nick, he's in a bar in Connecticut. He sends me a video. It's electric. So good for Pitino being back. Good for Pitino raising hell. Good for one of the last of the guard of the Krzyzewskis, the Roy Williamses, the Jim Boeheims. Good for them. By the way, did you know Pitino worked for Jim Boeheim? Almost got fired on his honeymoon for cheating. True story. Le'Veon Bell. Look, I don't understand this story with Tony Schnell. I'll read about it and get back to it. Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is not giving up. I tell you this all the freaking time, don't I? Don't I tell you this all the time? It's always the same guys. These idiots quit. The team is bad. The team sucks. The NFL sucks. I'm going into boxing. Okay, Le'Veon, you go into boxing. Goes into boxing. I don't know whether he's good or not. Don't care. But you know what they say? Leave them alone, and they'll always come back. Let me explain to you. When I was getting divorced, when I got divorced, I was trying to woo the lovely Lee Ross Dakich. She was in Syracuse. I was in Indy. She had a boyfriend. I was snaking around. Long story short, we went back and forth. Finally, she's like, look, I got to finish this out with this guy. You're 12 hours away. I'm finishing it out. I was heartbroken. I've told the story before. I sat on my couch and I ate 17 dreamsicles. That's right, 17 dreamsicles sitting there on a beautiful day in the spring going, why am I more heartbroken over this woman that I barely know than I am over my wife and mother of my kids who divorced me after 22 years? I went to the garbage can, I threw my dreamsicle stick in, and I looked, and I'm like, 17 of a 24-pack I ate. I'm like, well, that's enough. I'm going to find me a woman. Called up a couple buddies, went to the Salty Cowboy. Next thing you know, I'm dating a gal. Nice gal, lawyer gal, fun gal, great gal. But she ain't lead. I got a choice. Here's what I do. I start reading up. Pathetic as this sounds, how to get a woman back. I knew the answer. Let her go. Let her fly. One text equals 1 month, it said. If you send any kind of text, hey, just thinking about you, that means 1 month that she will have on you. So I did nothing. 0. And guess what? She came back. Same thing with athletes. Same thing with employees. Same thing damn near with everyone. Le'Veon Bell whined, bitched, and moaned. And Le'Veon Bell, they let him alone. Nobody came. Nobody came. It was like that episode in Seinfeld when the Pakistani restaurant opened. Nobody came. And Le'Veon Bell was left to try to, put Le'Veon Bell and Le'Veon Bell's brand in front of folks as something other than a pathetic loser at 31. So he's back. Here's what he had to say. I won't start training until March, and I'm going to be honest with myself. I got to go out there, and I'm going to put my foot in the ground. Can I go out there and really play again? I'm telling you right now. When I go out there and train in March, and if I hit April, and I make the decision to come back to play in the NFL, mark my words, I will only come back for that one team. You know who it is. I don't gotta say no team. I guess at some point, a few years ago, that would have been like, wow. Le'Veon Bell, wow, we're really excited to see what that team is. Yeah? Why would anybody give a rat's now? I'm going to assume, you can assume as well, I don't know, you can assume that that one team is the Steelers. Who cares? Le'Veon, baby, your ship has passed. Le'Veon, baby, you kind of suck. But you do you. I like this. I like this. 50 Cent. 50 Cent is going scorched earth. 50 Cent is starting to echo what many are starting to echo. Trump be the man. Trump be the man. What does that mean? That means, maybe Trump is the answer, is what 50 Cent said. After New York City, listen to this, gives out free prepaid credit cards to illegal migrants, taking to Instagram is what 50 Cent did, and expressed his frustration over the misuse of taxpayer money. Now, let me see if I can make you understand this. Call my phone. I don't understand how this works. Someone explain. Maybe Trump is of course Trump's the answer. We work hard for our money, and where does it go? Ukraine. We work hard for our money. Where does it go? $5,000 prepaid cards. Honest to God. $5,000 prepaid credit cards. Walk in the country illegally. Here's your $5,000. What? That's where your and my hard-earned money goes. You may not think that this job is hard, but I'm telling you, the first 40 minutes, I got to go, and it makes me puke every day. The lights are hot, my ass is hot, my knee's killing me. So I don't give a damn whether people think this job is hard or not. I give a damn that my tax money doesn't go to some illegal freaking immigrant that's coming into our country illegally. You come in legally, let's go. I'll help. But you can't, of course, Trump is the answer. Of course, rounding up, getting rid of, because it's only going to get worse. I guarantee you right now in Indy, you go somewhere, you're going to see a bunch of illegal dudes with their little credit cards out. I've already seen 2 right here in Indy. We're not very close to any border. I mean, I guess you can go north, you can go south. There's borders, there's east, there's west, but we ain't very close. It's coming to your neighborhood. I want to ask my neighbor who has that sign about nobody's illegal. I told him the other day, I said, why don't you put that sign back up? That way, when these illegal immigrants start running around our neighborhood, they know to go to your house, not mine. Now, is that mean to me? Yeah, it probably is. Is that Christian of me? Nah, it's probably not. But what can I tell you? Is Trump the answer? Well, maybe not, but I got to tell you, this ain't the answer. You tell me, you look me in the eye, Gritty, or anybody else, and you tell me that our tax dollars going to $5,000 prepaid credit cards for dudes walking in the country illegally, that's a good use of our tax money? That's a good use, you're going to say to me? Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's crap. And I think it continues to be crap. And I don't want to hear about nobody's illegal. Of course they are. They're not illegal as people, you dolts. Illegally coming into our country makes them illegal in our country. Yes, we are all gifted by God. Yes, we are very lucky to be in this country. But I don't give a damn what anybody tells you. I don't. There's a way to come in this country. There's a way to keep this country safe. There's a way to keep this country secure. No different than your grandfather or my grandfather or your great-grandfather or my great-grandfather, whoever the hell came in, went to Ellis Island, signed up, made a life for themselves. But it does not involve the $5,000 prepaid freaking phone call, and it does not involve just letting people run all over, come in on boats and run into our neighborhoods in California. That's called an invasion, not immigration. And you can't have a country if you're just going to be invaded all the time. And make no mistake, this ain't the neighborhood priest and nun and deacon that's coming into our country. No, it's not. No. Not even sort of. College hoops over the weekend. Look, be careful with that whole, just a little bit. UConn's the best team in the country. I think they're the best team in the country. And don't act like it's not close. Because I'll tell you right now, Purdue going into Wisconsin, into the Kohl Center, where they've won like 90% of the time, a jacked up crowd, a Sunday afternoon, students out in full force, and Purdue up the whole game. It's a good game early. Purdue took it out. I'm going to give you 2 things. One, Zach Edey is the defensive player of the year. All you got to do is watch that game, and don't watch the ball, you dummies. Watch the action. Watch the game. Watch how many times somebody runs away from Zach Edey when they've got the ball and a chance to score. Watch the influence that kid has. He is the defensive player of the year. He's also the national player of the year. When in doubt, throw it to Edey. Purdue's got a nice squad, man. Braden Smith, dynamite. Ren Kaufman, getting better. Mason Gillis, perfect for his role. They can bring Morton in to defend at other time. Purdue's a squad. And this Lance Jones, man, is he good. He really good. UConn whooped up on Rick Pitino. It's going to be a year from now. I'm going to write this down, where Rick Pitino's team, assuming Rick Pitino is still there, is going to be a top 10 team. Pitino's team will be a top 10 team this time next year, February 5th. By the way, congratulations to me. I made it the entire month, January 4th to February 4th, no alcohol. There have been some pain pills involved, but what are you going to do? No alcohol. That's a pretty good thing. Anyway, Pitino's team playing in the Garden, St. John's, loud, crazy, let's go. UConn handled them. Back and forth we go, back and forth we go, back and forth we go. And then Pitino's team just, they couldn't hang. Too much. Too much by UConn. UConn and Purdue, America's best. Indiana basketball sucks. It sucks. I mean, I hate to say it. Indiana has been the shits since I left in 1997. They've had one good year, 2002. That's it. When I left in 1997 to go become the head coach at Bowling Green, Indiana people had no idea all that I did for Indiana basketball, between keeping Coach Knight from getting fired, to handling all of the recruiting. Knight wouldn't go recruit, but handling every damn thing involved in the program. Basically the only sober one on staff, other than Knight. Knight was very sober, never drank. But the fact of the matter is, Indiana people always say, Dakich, you're just bitter because you didn't get the job. No, I go the other way. You Indiana fans should be bitter that I didn't get the job. You Indiana fans should be bitter that I left and went to West Virginia for $75,000 because I had to get out of it. That's what you should be bitter about. We got a coach in Indiana named Mike Woodson. Mike Woodson coached in the NBA a long time. He was a nice player, scored a lot of points at Indiana. His team won the Big Ten title in 1980. He was the most valuable player. Only played in 9 games. He was hurt with his back. I said a year ago, Mike Woodson is incredibly lazy, incredibly political, incredibly entitled, and frankly inept. I said it in a long post on Twitter. His daughter got mad. The sleazy, skeezy, Weasley, Indy Star columnist said that the daughter went off on me and good for her and I'm wrong. Fast forward a year. And this always happens in my life. Indiana gets beat by 20 in the second half to what? Penn State. Who? Without their best player, Penn State. Where was the game? Penn State? No. Assembly Hall. Big crowd. All of a sudden, a little Weasley, skeezy, little slimy writer for the Indy Star is writing an article about Woodson. Really? Team quit again, and I'm disgusted. I got a show from 12 to 3 on 1430 here in Indy, and I'm just going to go off for about 3 hours. Just go bat blank crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just have a day. You know, I don't root for much. I root for Indiana State. No, I don't. I root for Illinois State, my son's team, tough loss. I root for Indiana. That's it. I don't root for much. And I root for the Cubs. Colts have tired me out. But god dang, Indiana, you suck. Man, I hate saying that, but it's true.